Why only go after individual clients online when there are companies that will be willing to pay 5 and 6 figures for the expertise that you already have? In a world where people are telling you to give your value away for free, there are companies that will be willing to pay $10,000 and even $25,000 just for one session of your wisdom. The problem is you don't know where these opportunities exist and they can't find you because you don't look like a person who provides what they need, but you're closer than you think. I'm Kirsten Allen, and in this video, I'm going to break down the 3 questions you need to be able to answer to determine if you are corporate client ready. So before we get into this, why corporate clients, right? Why do we want to go after these opportunities to get into these organizations? This is especially for my people who feel like they don't have any corporate experience. You've built a successful business as an entrepreneur, and the corporate space is probably as far removed from you as the moon right now. However, this is the thing. If you've built your brand as a thought leader and as an expert, you are exactly what corporations look for because they pay for value. They want to bring someone into their organization that has a skill set, that has some wisdom, some process knowledge, or even some practical knowledge to help them do one of 2 things: make more money or save more money. And there's many different ways that that can look like, which is why I say if you're an expert, you have something that they're looking for to achieve those goals. You might be thinking, but they have a team that already does these things. Maybe you are in professional development. Maybe you are in marketing and you're thinking, don't they have teams to be able to train or share different processes that work for the organization? They do. And trust me, I was someone who was inside of an organization with millions of resources that could have been used. However, I was also responsible for hiring outside vendors to do specific projects that we needed on our team. Why did we do it? It saves us more money and time to go outside than to use our external resources to make the same thing happen. No matter what size teams they may be having, they are outsourcing certain tasks in order to get them done faster and more efficiently. You have to make sure that you position yourself as the person that can help them do that. Okay, now that we've gotten that out the way, you understand this is an opportunity for you. Your expertise is valued and organizations are hiring outside of their companies every day to solve these problems. Let's go ahead and get into these questions. The first question to ask yourself to determine if you are corporate client ready is, do I have documented expertise? Documented expertise is important because this is essentially what they are buying. So this looks like if you have programs, if you have workshops that you've done, if you have signature talks that you've done that have truly driven a transformation, meaning people got results that you can document. If you have sales pages or testimonial videos of people who have gotten results from your programs, you've got documented experience. And you might be thinking, well, these were individual clients. Those same people exist in an organization. And even if you're someone who's saying, well, my documented expertise does come from my corporate career, even better, translate those measurable results into documented expertise that can help an organization get the same results that you were able to deliver for the company that you were a part of. No matter what end of the spectrum you're on, whether that is you've had a thriving business that's gotten amazing results or you've had a thriving corporate career that's gotten amazing results, the documented expertise is going to be what you sell to these organizations as long as you know exactly how to speak about it in an organizational context. And that's what we're going to cover in the next question. The second question to determine if you are corporate client ready is, can you think in an organizational context? This is so important, especially when I talk to people who want to turn what they do into a corporate offer. We have to first dive into what is the broader impact that you have based on the work that you do. So I'm going to give you an example to paint this picture. If you are a sales coach online and you help entrepreneurs make more money in their business, perhaps you help them get to 6-figure years, 7-figure years, etc. That is a great outcome. However, that's not going to land with organizations. But what you do, the core of what you do, helping people to develop the skill sets and marketing skills to make more money is something that organizations would absolutely pay for. Let me tell you, as a retired sales account executive, I sat in many of external trainings where people showed us how to do things like social selling, especially during the pandemic. They showed us how to leverage LinkedIn to be able to connect with more people and sell our products and services to them. Those are the same skill sets that many of you probably have a PhD in, that these corporations are still using high school methods. And so they need you to be able to come in and show them exactly how they can use today's marketing and sales skills to get more money into their organization. That is thinking in an organizational context. How can I take what I have, the core of what I do, not the outcomes, not the pretty niche statements, strip all of that away? What is the core of who I am? What is the core of the value that I add? And how can I turn that into value for an organization, not just for an individual? Thinking in an organizational context is also about impact. And so while you may be helping people to grow a business, you want to think about in an organization, they want people to stay and make them more money. So you might have to switch hats a little bit and start thinking about how can I be more focused on what this organization wants to do rather than simply what my individuals may have done in the past. So you want to become a partner with organizations, understanding what they need and positioning what you have to offer to be the solution to that, and they will open up the wallet for you. And for those of you who might be saying, well, I'm not corporate-y, I don't know how I fit in, you still get to be yourself. You still get to stand by your values and who you are, but now you're making an impact into an organization that not only pays you well, but gets you in front of people who need what you have to offer, who can support them in their goals and their dreams, and you get to be the bridge to do that. There's no feeling better. The last question you want to ask yourself to determine if you are corporate client ready is, do I have the systems in place? I left this question for last, but truly this is the most important. If you don't have the infrastructure and the systems in place to be able to deliver to a corporate client and engage with them in the way that they do business, you won't have a corporate client for long. So this looks like setting up your invoicing to be professional, but also to include the information that corporations need in order to pay you. That looks like being very responsive in terms of information that they need from a legal side, from a finance and accounting side, and having someone who owns this part of the process is the hack to making sure that you're successful and always looking polished in front of these corporations. You don't have to do it with a whole lot of tools. You don't have to go out here and do something different, but you do want to understand what is the full cycle of what a corporate engagement looks like, and how do I need to shore up my system, shore up my people, and shore up my processes so this is a well-oiled machine moving forward. So I would suggest you take a moment to look at those areas in your business. If you got a corporate client today that said, invoice me, that sends you over a contract, do you immediately know what your next step would be so that you can move that process forward quickly? Because here's the thing, once they are engaged, you don't want to let anything fall through the cracks. So make sure your systems are prepared now to be able to deliver to these types of clients and ensure that you get paid on time, because that could be a whole nother video. So systems are super important for moving these opportunities forward. You must be professional, you must be polished, and you need a system that can work quickly so opportunities don't fall through the cracks. Okay, so those are the top 3 questions. So tell me, where did you land? Let me know in the chat which one of these questions struck you as an opportunity that you want to work through to be sure that you're corporate client ready. Now, this was just 3 questions, but I have a full comprehensive assessment that will actually give you a report to let you know how ready you are for these corporate clients. It only takes about 5 minutes to complete, and you'll get the exact steps you can use specific to your business and where you are to get more corporate clients in your business. The link to the assessment is below, or you can go to kirstenjallen.com/scorecard and get that assessment report now. I can't wait to see your results, and I can't wait for you to get your first or next corporate client. I'll see you in the next video.